What if I told you that the greatest leadership lessons for nonprofit organizations were written nearly 2,000 years before the first management book was ever published? And what if the leadership principles that increase volunteer retention, donor trust, staff engagement, and organizational effectiveness today are the very same principles taught by Jesus and practiced by the early church? The surprising part? Modern leadership research is increasingly proving that these biblical principles actually work. Today, we're going to explore 7 biblical principles that can strengthen your nonprofit leadership and help your organization thrive. But before we get to the message, I humbly ask that you watch the video to the end, as this helps monetize my YouTube channel, which funds all the pro bono consulting I provide to local nonprofits, charities, and churches. Hello, I'm Guy Williams, founder of Community Lifters. For nearly 50 years, I've worked with organizations ranging from small businesses and nonprofits to companies preparing for public markets. I've noticed something interesting. Organizations rarely fail because they lack good intentions. More often, they struggle because leaders drift away from the principles that create healthy cultures and sustainable impact. The good news is that Scripture provides a leadership framework that is just as relevant today as it was when it was written. And what's fascinating is that modern research continues to validate these timeless truths. Let's look at 7 biblical leadership principles every nonprofit leader should embrace. Jesus said, Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. In a world that often views leadership as power, Jesus viewed leadership as service. Research on servant leadership consistently shows higher trust, stronger engagement, and greater organizational commitment. People willingly follow leaders who genuinely care about them. Before we continue, consider this. If Jesus himself chose to wash the feet of his followers, what does that say about leaders who believe certain tasks are beneath them? That single question has the power to transform an entire organizational culture. Everything we manage ultimately belongs to God. Money, facilities, volunteers, influence. Scripture teaches that leaders are stewards, not owners. Organizations that demonstrate transparency and accountability consistently earn greater trust from donors and stakeholders. Faithful stewardship builds credibility. Proverbs tells us that where there is no vision, people perish. People want to know why their work matters. Volunteers stay engaged when they understand the mission. Donors give when they can see the impact. Vision creates alignment and momentum. James reminds us that God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Research shows that humble leaders build stronger teams, encourage innovation, and create healthier cultures. Humility isn't weakness. It's confidence that doesn't need constant recognition. Jesus invested deeply in 12 disciples. Paul mentored Timothy. The early church thrived through authentic community. People don't stay committed simply because they believe in a mission. They stay committed because they feel connected to the people carrying it out. God established Sabbath before he established organizations. Even Jesus regularly withdrew to pray and recharge. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. Healthy leaders create healthy organizations. Sustainable impact requires sustainable rhythms. The Bible teaches that wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord. Great leaders don't rely solely on intelligence or experience. They seek God's guidance, wise counsel, and biblical discernment. Good decisions build organizations. Wise decisions build legacies. As you reflect on these 7 principles, ask yourself, which one is strongest in your leadership today, and which one needs the most attention? The future of your organization may depend less on discovering a new strategy and more on faithfully applying timeless truths. If this video encouraged you, please like, subscribe, and share it with another nonprofit leader, pastor, ministry director, or board member. And if you're passionate about building stronger faith-based organizations, you'll find additional leadership resources right here on the Community Lifters channel. Until next time, keep lifting your community, and by all means, keep your focus on the mission.